tough place to start from. Um, Welcome back, everybody. It's been a couple weeks. Does anyone want to recap what happened last week for inspiration? Does anyone remember what happened?
3, 2.
Here comes the Ted countdown.
All right. Oh, hold on, my dog's coming down. I gotta call.
Ted, you're the collector of our
One second.
inspiration. We trust you with it. It's easier if we just put all of our inspiration onto one person. They can keep track of it for us.
Okay. So last time on Humblewood, we set out from we talked to the council, and they made the deal with us to head to the head to the Crest Mountains to deal with the newly discovered bandit camp that was there. So Wisteria and our Strigg friend, whose name I did not write down because I didn't.
Riffin.
Maybe Riffin, that's his name. Thank you.
Just Riffin, no G.
Okay.
Yeah,
Riffin.
I said Riffin with an
yeah.
R.
Yeah. We set out for the Crest Mountains, and we ended up in the town of Branchbourne, which is a sort of Corvum town just outside the Crest Mountains, home to multiple Corvum rookeries. It is on the Gesmes Branch River, which, true to the name, occasionally bursts into flames. And when we arrived, the trip there was uneventful, but when we arrived, we were informed that there had been some sort of contagion. So we spent a good amount of time talking to the grove tenders who were visiting, and talking to the priests of the Gesme Temple in Branchbourne. And apparently this is just sort of a local issue that occasionally it pops up in the mountains that makes people makes them restless. They don't get sustenance from normal food. They become cannibals. I believe the grove tenders actually called it cannibal sickness or something similar. Do I have a note in Roll20? I don't. We then carrion fever. That's the one. You're right. Yes, thank you. We did some more snooping around. There was some sort of halfway shady deal going on between some of the monks of the temple and a group of merchants who were sort of halfway up the mountain, who it seems kind of have a thing going on, a business arrangement made with the bandits, where they sort of smuggle things in and out. We were told that a few things had gone missing, including a fractal of ember, which is... It was lost to bandits. It was being brought down by the tenders to Branchhorns. It just shows up as a glowing something. It just perpetually glows. Created by one Pella Stormbeat. And we basically determined that there was nothing real shady going on with the disease. It was just an outbreak that got spread because of this sort of secretive business relationship, and that's... I think Gladys came down with carrion fever.
I did as well.
And Hattie.
I think one more of us did. Maybe Vendy. It sounds right.
But with some liberal spell application, that was largely cleared up, at least among us. There's not much we can do for the whole... Well, I mean, it would take a very long time to deal with it for the whole town. But I believe the tenders knew of some sort of medicinal cure. Regardless, we then set out for the crest, because at the merchant's place we detected and cleaned it up on that sort of skeezy businessman's person, his crew, his work team. We were able to get a couple of his servants who had made the trip up to the Crest Mountains to the bandit camp or castle. They were willing to lead us there so that we avoided the lion's share of the patrols and things like that. We found a sort of a ruined encampment where we rested up for the night. Wisteria and Roderick had a little conversation in the morning, and that's where we left off.
Mm-hmm. Duncan, get out. Out. Come on.
I don't know if I missed anything major. I probably did.
I don't think so. The carrion fever is interesting because, yeah, we couldn't do anything about it in the town. But
Yeah.
it does suggest that there is some rampant carrion fever either happening in the fort we're going to, or at some point in the supply chain between there and the town.
Yeah.
Which isn't great.
We also, I think, determined that the rate of incidents has been increasing. Like, it's gotten to be more and more of a thing. Recently, there's been sort of an uptick in cases.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So in the morning, as you are preparing to continue on your trek, is there anything that needs to be said or done?
I don't think so. We're on the side of we're on a mountain outcropping, right?
Yes.
So we'll have to descend back down.
Yes, you did climb up.
Path.
Yep.
Okay. I guess Hattie would go and make sure the rope down is set up properly.
Mm-hmm.
Through the pittance, etc. And then once everybody's down, gather up all the pittance. Put it back in the climber's pack.
And Roderick made breakfast, so enjoy breakfast.
Oh yeah, I also saw the sky up here, and my new night vision kicked in.
Oh yeah.
A whole fucking experience. Hattie's in a great mood. Hattie slept the exact amount that he needs to have a long rest. Not a minute more.
All right. Anything else anyone would like to specify or prepare for the day?
Oh, right. I would probably also hand out my sweet treats after everyone's done with breakfast. It's my proficiency just bonus, right? Is it 1+? Forgot what shit.
It'll say.
It's the
bottom one.
It's the bottom one.
Yeah.
Equal to proficiency bonus. So I have 2 of them. I'll probably give them to Roderick and Vendi.
Do we think we're going to reach the fort today?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that was the plan.
I'll cast Goodberry, and I'll also give I'll tap Vendi and give Vendi the advantage on the next initiative check.
Okay. Then your guide begins taking you back to the roads. And knowing the roads as she does, she also knows about the point where it would be best to, or I say roads, the paths more appropriately, the route. At which point it would be best to diverge so that you guys are not seen. And eventually, there is, through the mist and the shallow drifting, but no sticking of snow, there is a pair of great stone towers that loom on the horizon They are connected to a squat and sturdy fortress which stands amongst the crags and between large two large faces of the mountainside. A few shapes can certainly be seen on the parapets, and there are banners that hang from the walls of various colors. There is a there's a great gate. There is a great there is a great gate that has that is observably very difficult to open and close. And every once in a while, there are folks who are leaving, and then folks with wagons that are returning. How would you like to proceed? These walls are about 100 feet tall, and as I said, it is observably guarded. There is some clearance between this place and where you are.
Don't know about the rest of you. I don't much fancy trying to climb over those walls. Maybe we can hitch a ride on one of those carts that they're pulling through. How closely are they checking these carts?
Why don't you make me a perception check?
Ooh.
Oh my god.
God
All right,
damn.
Ted.
Well,
All right,
it's all
Ted.
downhill from here, folks.
Yeah, there it is.
It would appear that there is some examination, but that has more to do with the personages at each wagon rather than the goods themselves. And even then, it is somewhat brief.
Well, if we can sneak into the back of one of them wagons, I guess with 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 of us, 6 of us. Yeah, 6. I counted the fox. That was our guide.
Yeah.
That might make it a little cramped. Maybe we need a couple of them, but that's one idea.
Should we wait for nightfall?
Well, the problem is a lot of us can't really see in the night, and also we don't know if they're going to be opening those gates. And if they're not, that just once again leaves us with trying to climb over.
True, but sight will not be a problem.
Oh, I will take your word on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And any thoughts, anyone?
Once we are inside, I suppose then that we will start killing. Somewhat indiscriminately.
Well,
I guess that is why we're here.
We're mainly here for the bandit leader, I believe, is the way it was explained to us in Alderheart. If we can sort of deal with the one bringing them all together, the other bandits may not exactly function as well as they're doing. I mean,
so
we don't actually have any perch guard with us, right? Riffin is not perch. Is he perch guard? He is.
He is.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Is he wearing? Sorry, I forgot to ask this. earlier, but is he like wearing regalia of the
Yes.
Coast Guard? Oh, that's fucking great. It's like on his armor, right? He can't just like take it off.
No, but he could feasibly cover it if given a disguise or something.
Under the cover of night, we could try to have the guards let us in, if we do not think the wagon will work. Once we are in, then we can proceed with violence.
Well, I'm with Roderick. I don't know that they'll let anybody in at night. So we could be faced with either trying to scale the wall or just waiting it out here until daybreak. I think perhaps our best bet is to head down this path a little ways so we're out of sight of the guards and try and convince somebody with a cart or two to let us hide in the back.
By convince, do you mean pay or threaten?
Whatever works, probably.
I think it'll probably be the former.
We do need to be careful. I imagine a place this large, we are probably considerably outnumbered. And once we're in, and I assume those doors are going to close behind us, we're going to have to find a way to get back out. So, I mean, if it comes down to indiscriminate violence, like you're saying, I will fight, but if we can maybe do this quiet-like or find something a little more likely to let us leave with our lives, I'm all for that.
Well, depending on how comfortable everyone is with subterfuge, we could claim to have captured Riffin here and want to deliver him to Brenna for a reward, and then once there, ask for parley.
That is a mighty fine idea. Will definitely take some convincing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they'd be pretty keen on knowing what the Perch Guard has to say, especially since their last camp got raided and presumably they have the map. So I guess any troop movements or whatever would be valuable information. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard to convince them.
Oh no, I meant convincing Riffin here.
Oh,
He would
right.
be walking in with presumably his hands at least visually bound and with no weapon to hand, so...
If this is, I would trust you all not to put me in danger in this instance. I mean, it would be certainly to your disadvantage to do so.
I just wasn't sure how comfortable you were with being bait is all.
I am here to assist.
Well, that does save us having to hope we don't get spotted in some cart, because, frankly, if that went badly, I wasn't sure where to go from there.
Do you think they will recognize some of us?
I don't think it's likely. There's only those two Jabines that we have come across that are both alive and not in jail, as far as I'm aware. Well, I mean, I suppose there was also that Gallus at the camp outside of Aldahart, but...
Hattie starts slowly, like, turning his cloak inside out. like the brown side, like in the inside, is showing. Once we're in there, then I guess we try to find the leader, and then I suppose kill them, and then flee.
Well, I think to Roderick's point of leaving with our lives, killing them might not be the best option. It because then who's gonna let us out? I feel like if we end up doing some sweet talking and just tell them to fuck off, maybe we can just leave. Instead of having to assassinate
way
someone
out.
in the middle of a complex and then have to escape. I can't climb that good. I don't want to be scaling walls, so that's just personal preference, though.
I don't know how we would manage to convince them that what they're doing is not helping everybody, but
It is worth exploring before we turn to violence.
I'm very inclined to agree.
So you want to ask for an audience with their leader?
Well, yeah. I mean, it saves the trouble of fighting through a bunch of bandits to get to them. I feel like if we just ask to see them and have Riffin as our sort of bargaining chip, we can do that. And if it does turn ugly, we're just right there inside.
True. Yeah, it doesn't do us much good dying on the way, and we're not even finishing our mission, at least. Not that I imagine any of us want to die in there regardless, out.
They may take away our weapons as well. Well, those of us that have them.
They may try, yeah. That's definitely a concern.
If we want to do this right, likely we will have to give it to them.
Maybe. I mean, they are bandits. I imagine if they're letting us in to claim a bounty, as it were, that they're used to dealing with folks armed. Plus, I mean, simple fact is we are going to be greatly outnumbered.
Mm-hmm. I do think we should still do it at night.
Again, to Roderick's point, I don't think they're gonna be opening the doors for us, though. I bet travel isn't too hot at night, and to keep people who wanna, infiltrate away, they'd probably close the doors.
Then, almost night, so that it's nighttime by the time we're done talking to the leader. That way there's less people out and about.
Alright.
If we have to fight a path from wherever the leader is to the door, the less people that are there, and the darker it is, the better.
I can't really argue with that. That's a good idea.
So maybe evening.
Worth a try, I guess, but the one advantage of going during the day is there's plenty of whoever these folks are in the cots. More cover, more people gives us more cover if we have to, shall we say, beat feet.
Both compelling arguments, and while I can see in the dark, not all of us can. It's basically Griffin, Hattie, and that's it. Myself.
I can make all
she
of you.
she sort of leans over to Griffin and says, "You can see in the dark, right?"
He shakes his head. No, wait, he can. All right, I thought he did. Okay, that's
I was
good.
gonna say he's like an owl, isn't he?
Yeah. I thought he could, and then I didn't see it immediately. Yes, he has dark vision.
I can make all of you see, but only for an hour.
An hour's a long time.
Yeah, an hour should be plenty of time, Hattie.
I can. It will look very different. It's a gift that was given to me because I asked a question. So I can give it to all of you for an hour. So that you don't have to be afraid of the dark.
How will we circumvent not having weapons?
And I'll have my... Can't imagine they'll take a candle from me, so I'll be able to use my magics, but I only have so much of that.
That is very nice for you.
Yeah. I realize that doesn't help everybody, but maybe we can... I mean, hopefully some of those gods can be put to sleep or something, and we can get weapons from them.
That's a big roll of the dice there, Rod.
What if we do both?
This wasn't my plan, so...
We could both sneak in and pull your wool over their eyes. Both. So we are not checked at the gate for weapons.
Could do. Not keen on splitting our numbers up in case something does go wrong, but could do.
Well, perhaps we could convince somebody either heading in or out that they don't need their cart as much as they thought they did. Offer a little coin in exchange, hide a few people and/or weapons in the cart, then approach the gate and tell them we've captured Riven and would like to see Brenna for a reward.
Suppose that's worth a try.
A little point of contention is I think we should probably avoid saying that name like we know her, right? I feel like that's kind of narky. Like, hey, I have a thing. Take me to your leader. Wink, wink. I don't want to assassinate her or anything. Not me. But it's totally obvious you do. I don't know. I feel like she's not the one handling that. Right? I might be.
I don't know, for the
crazy.
capture of a perch guard, I'd assume that the person in charge would be wanting to question the guard. I could be wrong.
Mm. We could say that Frey sent us when they got attacked, but that we captured one first. And we've had to stay hidden because the perch guard are coming. So it took us longer.
So, it's a real solid ruse, Hattie.
Yes, but I should probably not talk because I'm not good at lying.
I do have Frey's sword, so...
Well, it Sounds like we've got a plan then. We'll see if we can acquire a cart to hide weapons and potentially people that need them. And then we'll approach the gate, tell them we captured this perch guard, and as we were escaping, and Faye had told us to head this way. Do this a little later in the day so that if we do have to make an escape, we're doing it under the cover of night.
I am not very good at lying, so I will stay quiet.
There are worse things than not being good at lying, Hattie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose the first thing we need to do is see if there's a person can be relieved of their cart for a price, I'm assuming, and then... Or do we want to settle down first and then try to... Well, I'm worried if we wait too long, we won't be able to find someone wheeling a cart. But if we get the cart, then we're not going to be able to wait too long to go in. Otherwise, we just look strange sitting around with a cart instead of following everyone else in.
Well, I get your point, but I think we should first try and acquire the cart as soon as possible and worry about the second problem if we actually get one.
Fair enough. We don't want to be too suspicious while we're trying to get a cart, though, so if we don't get it the first 1 or 2 times, we may consider just...
Yes, I think that's a
abandoning
wise
that idea.
Yeah, I think that's a wise idea.
Okay. I'm assuming you are not trying to ambush anyone. You are trying to politely negotiate being made known and obvious first.
Gladys murders the first person she sees with a cart. No. I thought we were going to negotiate, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Trying to buy a cart and everything.
Okay. Just clarifying. Triss is actually going to go back to the camp that you guys were at last night for the time being to take you back when you return. But just so she's not around to be in danger. Okay. Who would like to lead negotiation for procurement of a cart?
Oh boy, I guess that's me.
I could probably
You might be better at
assist.
it.
I can assist if you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh,
Gladys, you have the sword, right?
The phrase sword?
Yeah.
I do.
Oh. Okay. Then you'll be
Right.
making it.
I was verifying with Adam, but I'm pretty sure I took it from, or rather, Gladys gave it to me because I offered to buy it from Gladys for whatever she would have sold it for.
Yeah, you've got it.
Then any persuasion or deception check you might make, you make an advantage.
Sweet. Cool. Okay.
And before we make any negotiations, Wisteria will kind of sidle up to Roderick and be like, "Hey, and if you need me to tell someone what to do, just wink at me or something, and they'll do it. Fingers crossed." It usually works. She sort of like waves him, like nervously.
I will keep that in mind. That's gonna be helpful to me. Okay. So I guess we will kind of keep an eye out for. I don't know what sort of contents most people are bringing in. I'm assuming supplies. If we see a cart that looks like it's carrying supplies from Alderheart, I know a couple were never recovered from that raid that we saw. I would die out for those. Excuse me. Otherwise, I'm just looking for one that's big enough to hide
in that case, let me get a perception check. Hi.
22.
Okay. With enough time, you certainly do see a wagon from that raid.
That might be harder to buy off them, though, because that's certainly coming in under bandit control. But it's hard to say, because as I recall, none of the bandits don't wear, like, uniforms or anything. Like, they have no sigil or anything like that. So. Well, there's one of the wagons from Alderheart. How about sort of a minor alteration to our plan? Instead of trying to buy the cart from them, because I'm assuming that those will be bandits from Alderheart itself, so it'll be awful suspicious trying to buy it from them. How about just convincing them to give us a ride? They're going to be armed because they're bandits. We can simply say that we were part of the raid that made it to Frey's camp. We got her sword, we got one of the perch guard that raided that camp, and we just need a ride.
Well, that sounds like a great idea to me.
Then we don't have to try to convince them to give up their spoils, as it were. All right.
Gladys will ask Griffin if it's okay at this point to tie his hands behind his back.
He will acquiesce.
I hate to say it, Griffin, but we're going to have to take your weapon as well.
He has already unstrapped it.
Okay. Miss Gladys, if you will lead him, and Hattie, you kind of stay out of sight behind Wisteria. Vendi, would not mind if you would stay hidden and keep your bow ready in case this goes very sideways. I think if we do this far enough back from the castle itself, maybe if things go sideways, we can still claim this wagon and use it. But man, do I just not want to be taken by surprise, if you understand.
Gladys is strapping Riffin's weapon on.
I believe it is a long sword. It is a short sword, actually.
Fantastic.
Hey, you can use those.
Yeah, I don't plan on using it. I just want to make it look like I've confiscated it.
Right. Just convenient that you can use it.
Yep. Yep. And I'll put a hand on Riffin's shoulder like I'm leading him around.
All right, great. Okay.
Once everybody's kind of in place, I will wait for one of those wagons to be sort of a little bit isolated, and then just step out and not directly in front of it, because I don't want to get run over, but
you're making yourself known on the road, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to try to surprise them or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. They slow and ask if ask where. Frankly, very pleasantly ask where you're headed.
Well, hello there, friend. We are trying to get this here guard all the way into the keep. It's been a hell of a journey, and he's a stubborn one. I'm hoping that we might be able to hitch a ride with you if you have the space.
Oh, you have a prisoner there. That's really something. You're headed to the stronghold.
That we are. We caught this one a while back. Well, a little bit back. Figured we'd bring him up for whoever's in charge to have a go at, have some questions for.
Oh,
Figure
Brennan?
out what he's doing here. Sure.
Are you new?
Relatively, yes. You could say that. We just came up from Aldehard ourselves by way of Branchborn. Yeah, that's the name of it. The guards here did a number on the rest of our friends down there, so we are trying to get some, guess you could say, compensation.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Not a problem. And you see their eyes catch the sword. They catch sight of the sword. And without, I mean, honestly, without having to make a deception check. Yeah. Hey. Anyway, without having to make a deception check, you are allowed onto the wagon.
We'll gesture for everybody and gesture to Vendi. You don't mind my asking how long has your trip been to get here?
Couple of days. Few days. Either way, you all can be brought to the to the gate of the stronghold. The impressive stone and wooden walls are darker and more ominous upon approach, but the banners that are left out over the edges very clearly at one time were quite beautiful and well cared for, but the sun has bleached them, the weather has torn at them. They are artifacts of another time, almost. The guards here clearly have focus, those that patrol the parapets, but but the hedge that is conducting the briefest of examinations of every wagon seems to have more of a passive, what's the word? More of a passive attitude until they see your prisoner and ask where you found him.
Found him snooping around when we were making our way up from Branchborn. Managed to get him caught. Figured might be a good idea if he made it all the way here. Bring him up, see what maybe he might be able to tell the leadership here.
Okay. I need you to make a deception check with advantage.
Ready to fight, everybody? No, 22.
Oh.
Cody. Okay. They say then, oh, that's very interesting. I mean, ordinarily that sort of folk we'd put in the jail for a little while, but, it's not what it used to be. We don't get much use of it. It might be best if you do take it to Brenna. Any of you, well, certainly not you, and, he gestures to you, Roderick, but, to the others in the company. Any of the rest of you know where the captain's rooms are?
Gladys shakes her head.
All right, well, just beyond the courtyard is a winding way. Those of you who are new, just beyond that path are some of the barracks, and in the inner stronghold is the hall. She'll likely be there right now.
Thank you much. It would be good to get this one out of our feathers.
He nods and waves for the wagon to pass through. And the courtyard that he describes is an open field that has some facilities, clear structures. There's a well and some proper lodgings. There is what appears to be a very large makeshift structure, some tent that has been fortified in a fashion, though the tarp itself has seen better days. There is what is evidently proper barracks of a fashion, which are only identified mostly by the many figures who seem to be entering or exiting it in various states of dress. And then on the other side of this courtyard is a gigantic and heavy wooden door that is currently open, but on either side of it are very broad and heavy Mapuk guards. And that is the path beyond. The bandits who you have traveled with ask if you would like some help taking Riffin up.
I assume that's a no group.
Yeah, I feel like we've troubled you guys enough. I thank you again.
Indeed, your help has been greatly appreciated. I hope whatever you're dropping off or selling, whatever it is you're actually doing here, I apologize for not even asking. I hope your work goes well. Hop off. Like, start basically trying to guide Griffin down.
Okay. Checking in with everyone else. Is there something that anyone else would like to specify they are doing?
No, besides nervously like fidgeting with the map in his hands.
There are plenty of people that you see just out in the courtyard. More than a couple dozen, actually. And everyone seems to be in pleasant spirits. There's a outright cheer and enthusiasm as some people seem to be reuniting with others every once in a while. There are people who are what is the word? Enthusiastically helping unload carts and then take people, take individuals like into the barracks. It's for it is observably a very comfortable and quiet, well, not quiet, but rather pleasant place in general. And folks of all walks of life seem to have found their place here, though it is not at all surprising that predominantly you observe humble folk. The path that you are pointed towards through those wooden doors has a stone walkway, a stair that climbs up to an inner keep that is built into the cliff face. There are a couple of buildings that you pass there that are evidently, they appear to be guard rooms or perhaps armories, based on some of the utilities and the folks who are outside of each of them. And just beyond that is a dining hall with the doors left open, letting in a cool draft. And I'll put you on that map. Inside there are a couple of bandits who seem to be leisurely cleaning in the room.
Am I supposed to have like a 10-foot
Nope.
vision bubble?
Let me put on daylight. Doop. That fix it?
Yeah.
Okay. During the point of the day, at this point in the day, there is just some food scraps, and then there are folks who seem to be tidying up, and perk up when you enter, and ask, what business have you up here in the captain's halls?
We were
And
told
then-
at the gate. Nope. Sorry.
And then they see the sword, and then one of them scampers, after putting up a finger for one moment, scampers into one of the doors back here.
Okay, have I seen anybody else with a sword like this, or is this sword just... I'm trying to figure out if this is just a captain's sword, or if this is specifically recognizable as Frey's sword.
Make me a perception check.
It'll turn... 20, oh god. I'm still waiting for that other shoe. It's coming.
You've seen bandits here who are armored and unarmored, and in ragged finery and then rags. There are certainly some who appear to carry a stronger presence and have a little bit more of a authoritative tone and have some respect, but none carry a blade as yours.
Okay. Well, this is going to be an awkward conversation in a second.
A minute passes, and the Gerbine returns, followed by a figure, a servant, who is short but stocky, and with darkened fur and a bandana that covers the entirety of the left side of her head, and is bound very tightly over her skull. She wears armor that has been deeply cared for, though shows damage. And she walks with a severity that upon her entrance demands the respect of the other bandits in the hall. And she turns to all of you and says, I'm to understand you have a prisoner.
I will just step out of the way as much as possible to show.
She extends a hand for you to bring him forward.
Miss Gladys, if you would bring him up here with us, and Roderick will go forward and get out of the way.
And where did you find him?
Found him poking around on us near Branchbourne. We had come down that way from Alderhot.
She steps onto the table and stands over Riffin. And to him says, Elderheart sends no perch guard to the threshold of the scorched fields, and yet insists on putting 4 weak strig in the path of my men. And for what? And he attempts very desperately to hold a stern and placid expression, but says nothing. And she lightens a little bit. Her ear lifts and she says, as long as he doesn't return or flee, he should have room here. Have you all eaten yet? You've come a long way from from Gesmi's branch.
We ate this morning, not so long ago. Thank you for your hospitality. Tell me, when we were in Branchbourne, some of the folks there seem to have come down with a sickness. Is that something happening here?
It is typical in the mountains. Carrion fever is not uncommon, though it is being treated in the infirmary. Her eyes look down, trying to recognize you. Her brow knits. What was your name?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm Roderick.
Roderick. And where'd you find this? And her hand reaches out and touches the pommel of the sword.
After the raid in Alderhot, some of the other god and some other people came hunting for the supplies that was taken, and Captain Frey, it would seem, did not Well, she won't be making this trip, I'm afraid.
She puts a hand over her heart and bows her head, and she says, "That is a true loss. Meriden was a fine combatant and a good leader."
Mm-hmm. Tell me, did she ever speak to you about I suppose it would have been hard for her to do so, but did she ever speak to you about the vision of a great fire beast? She talked to us about it once.
No. Please elaborate.
She described to us going through the mock fields, trying to find a way, I suppose, to avoid some of the guards on the roads. There's a hedge witch there, has a concoction that if you well, drinking it gives you all sorts of visions, including a great beast of fire. No feathers, no snout, no humble or bird folk. Destroying the people there. A community of mostly servant folk, burning the place to the ground. I know for myself, haven't seen it, and for Miss Frey, it was a major concern with the grove, although I don't know exactly where the vision shows. I thought it was something that had already happened, but Miss Frey indicated to me that it might have been something that has yet to be. I didn't know if she had ever made mention to you in letter or anything. Suppose it's possible she never had time.
She shakes her head and says, "It is what the God's will. If Alderheart refuses to address the threat of the Scorched Grove, they are going to burn."
From what we can gather, the council in Elderheart is very much aware of the threat. However, they have dedicated no small amount of their resources to recovering their supplies, many of which, from word around Elderheart when we were there, were geared for the Scorched Grove. See, originally, I'm sure you can tell from my voice, I am originally from Salter's Port. Well, it's kind of a mix-up how we met Miss Frey to begin with, but I'm sure by now you've heard of Ashborough, the fate of Ashborough, rather.
She nods. "I've had many refugees who have found their home here from Ashborough in this past week." There's a family, some children, Gerbine siblings. They all live here now. Parents died in the fires.
Roderick will take off his hat, put it over his chest. I'm awful sorry to hear all that. I know Alderheart is doing as much as it can. I spent some time among the refugees there when I first reached Alderheart. It's, It's a mess of a situation. I'll be honest, as new as we are to negotiating here with you and all of your crew, I have to admit the why it is the coalition is at so much odds with Alderhot, especially when I've seen the things I've seen, is quite the conundrum.
She, she seems to be listening.
Boy, I should have gotten some of that potion juice from Susan. Wish I had done that.
Yeah.
That would have been smart.
I don't know how that potion juice keeps, though. Put that in a glass bottle. It's gonna, like, get sticky.
I know you're taking in refugees here, and you have all kinds of supplies. I see some of them from out west and all that. Have you received word from Ashboro anytime recently? My friend here is from that place.
Word?
Gesture to Mysteria.
She sends a truly sympathetic look across the room to you, Wisteria. Word? No. Only the wounded. And she very carefully, her face kind of twitches. She seems to be in a little bit of pain, and very carefully reaches up to remove the bandana over the side of her face to reveal only the most horrific of burn scars that almost entirely have taken away her ear and her eye, and she very delicately scratches the, though not fresh wounds, deep wounds, and then begins to replace the bandage.
I'm going to be
Were
the
you
one to
there
ask
too?
the obvious question, Hattie. This isn't the servant we saw, right? This totally is.
I don't. Out of character. I guess out of character, what do I know?
I'm sorry, I wasn't clear. That question is more for Sarah, not for Hattie.
Right.
I figure Hattie knows about as much as Roderick does.
Yeah. It's like,
You guys can make any inference you'd like.
Wisteria is just gonna ask, were you there too?
In Ashboro?
She nods.
No. Before Ashboro, first were devoured smaller cities, smaller perches, smaller homes. And when the perch guard did not listen, when the perched guard offered no help when the Bird Folk Council would not hear our cries. Others did. The people here listen. You might find family here.
Wisteria just kind of gives her an earnest look and asks, "What are we doing about it then? I don't want to have to be running supplies. I want to help push back the grove. What have we learned? Is there anything we can do? Is there any help that we can get here, or are we just huddling afraid?"
Not afraid. Fire cannot touch stone. The wood will burn. And after the cinders have finally cooled, new growth must come.
You know that's not true. It stays burning. There won't be a grove unless we push it back or stop it from spreading.
Don't have another choice. If the gods have willed that thing, the grove should consume, it is going to consume. The Bird Folk Council, high above all others, will certainly be the last to fall, but they will have the farthest to fall. We can wait.
I mean, begging your pardon, but no, you really can't. By the time everything that you're waiting for to burn has burned, there will be nothing left for you to claim. There will be no new growth, and your people will starve. There's only so many supplies for you to bring here, to have brought here. There's only so long you can hold up here before everything else is gone. And if the thing that I have seen, if the thing that Frey saw is real, I watched it destroy a hill. It will destroy this place. It is not a normal fire. We have had already all kinds of things on our way here. Ember bats pushing farther south than they've ever been. This carrion fever worse than it's ever been, according to the tenders. There's just... I'm not asking you to abandon this place or abandon your people, but there's... There's just more than I think we are really seeing in the day-to-day, and the fighting between the coalition and the council it's really helping nobody. It sure ain't helping the people in Ashborough. It ain't helping the refugees coming here. Just as many refugees are heading to Elderheart, so the supplies that are being brought here from there are just coming out of the mouths of refugees there. There has to be another way.
And do you know it? Do the bird folk know it? Does Gesme, and her eye lifts the candle, know it?
Well, just because we don't know it now doesn't mean it can't be known. But the first step in finding out is to stop fighting each other so that we can learn.
I need a persuasion check.
I can assist. 22.
Ooh.
Where have you all been? Where are you all from?
As I said, I'm from Salter's Port originally. Spent some time recently in a place called Meadowfen.
And she looks at everyone else.
I'm from all over, really, but most recently Meadowfen.
I'm from Ashborough. So's he. She points at Griffin.
Meadowfen most recently.
You've all come a long way then. Why?
Well, we heard stories about how well you look after those that are in your care, and from our short time here, I can see that those stories seem to be true. We were hoping to impress upon you that it might be better served in the long run if you extend some of that compassion to those that would otherwise burn if you had your way.
It is very true that I have no answer for you on what to do. Fire was supposed to be Gesmir's gift to all the people of this wood, not just we Corvum, not just bird folk, not just humble folk, but everybody. It's supposed to help us build a community, and unfortunately the Scorched Grove is destroying everything. Scorched Grove doesn't care if you're bird folk, humble folk, coalition, perch guard, bird council. It doesn't care. And the things that it's sending forth, they don't care either. We, just gestures around everybody, we have to care. That's the only way we're going to deal with this grove. Now, part of our plan, well, part of my plan, once we were done here with you, was to stop by the atrium. Miss, well, the hedge witch from the Mock Fields mentioned the birds there. Maybe they know something. Maybe somebody knows something somewhere. I'm sorry, not the atrium, the avium. But in the meantime, any help that the council would want to send, they have to weigh against it finding its way here instead of where they think it needs to be. And I've helped run a small church. I know that the right and left hands often have no idea what the other's doing. But it sounds to me like everybody wants to help. It's just a question of how. Well, the fact is, everybody needs to help.
She thinks. And she thinks for a while. Are any of you headed out back west toward Meadowfen?
Eventually.
Perhaps then, if you wouldn't mind, passing along a message to the council, or at least someone in Elderheart who could possibly bend their ear. Tell them that I am willing to speak. But I, nor any who may accompany me, will be their prisoner.
I think we can do that, and if you will permit, we will. I believe it's going to be a much stronger message coming from one of their own. Gesture towards Riffin. We can simply escort this one back on his way, and he can pass along that message.
Wise. You are not one of my captains. You bear her sword. But this is sage advice. Rest. There is place in the barracks for those of you who are unfamiliar, those of you who have not been here before. There is meals at the watches. Everyone takes turns. Everyone here works.
What time of day is it?
I believe about now would be about the afternoon.
Okay.
What do you all do?
Well, do we want to just head back to where we camped? Since Triss, I think was the name. Triss is waiting for us there. Or do we want to take some time to rest here?
I'm trying to think of like what the better diplomatic move is.
I think the better diplomatic move is probably staying here for at least a night to demonstrate that we've got some element of, or we trust her to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tactical decision would be to just fuck off before anything
Yeah, to
else
bolt.
would go wrong. But the diplomatic move is just to kind of be seen around.
Be seen, do some work. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that the call?
It sounds like that's the call.
Sounds like it.
Okay. Great. Then you all can go to an ugly map for a little while. And we will, I think we're gonna take. It's a little early, but we'll take our 15 now. And be back about the top of the hour.
Cool beans.
Wasn't sure what you guys were gonna do, so.
I mean, this went well.
That went surprisingly well.
Certainly think it
Really?
saved a lot of hassle.
Yeah, it saves us a lot of hassle, but I totally had a feeling she was like a compassionate person.
Yeah, I suspected as much that like Frey might have kind of just been a loose cannon
Yeah.
with too much autonomy.
Meaning any at all?
Yeah, it's
That one
like-
needed to be freaking super bad.
yeah, we got that sense. I think Sarah specifically told us that like Frey didn't really, when we were talking to her about like ideological things, Frey didn't honestly give much of a shit. Or if she did, it was just the veneer she wrapped over herself to do bandit stuff because she liked it.
Yeah, and also like from what she had to, from what gosh, what's her name, had to say about Frey. I'm gonna get into the habit of forgetting every bandit captain's name ever.
Yeah, you can only remember them once they've died.
Yeah.
Or once they've killed one of your other characters.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
once they've claimed you, then then you can remember their name.
I'll be right back.
I was preparing for her to be like, you guys killed
I
Frey.
like that. That's good.
I don't know if I'll do that on the jacket just because it might be too intricate for the
Right.
brushes I have.
I'm with you, Cody. I thought that was definitely going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
I do
respond with
that.
like,
It's good.
she killed one of our own, so we killed her back. That's how this works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about how good or bad we've done in the long term. Like, I'm still reserving judgment. But just on this specific interaction, like, man, I was thinking that getting in was going to be more difficult. I was thinking our reception was going to be more difficult. I figured it was
Yeah.
a 50-50 shot that it would just turn into a bloodbath.
I mean, 2 22s certainly helps.
Mm-hmm.
That is
For-
true.
Deception than persuasion. Like I said, I think long term in this case doesn't really matter because we're trying to solve a short term problem as best we
Mhm.
can. Somebody else can deal with the politics later on. That's not our
Right.
privy to give a shit about.
We're heroes. We're here to do the hero stuff and stop the bad guy.
Yeah, we're here to stop the fucking world from burning. They can go
Right.
back to fighting the second the world isn't going to burn to death. Also, she was the most reasonable person with power that we've talked to so far.
That is very true.
Yeah,
By a
it's
long
almost like
shot.
it's almost like if it's a salt of the earth like leader, they are
Yeah.
generally gonna have a little bit more sense than like a bunch of aristocrats sitting fucking eating each other's asses all day.
Yeah.
This woman wanted to hide in a. Hold up. This woman wanted to hide with stolen goods.
Yeah.
This was her fucking plan. Don't give me this is reasonable.
Well,
this is
hey.
fucking dumb.
She's an
You are gonna
idiot, but she's
starve
a
to death in your
reasonable
foot.
idiot.
That's
Yeah,
not
no,
I think-
reasonable.
It's a pretty
not.
reasonable dumb person plan.
I mean,
It's not a reasonable plan. So when
I'm with you,
when the
Ted.
basis of your plan is stealing shit from everyone else, literally taking supplies from other refugees, that's not salt of the earth. That's fucking psychotic.
right. I mean, I'm with you, Ted. However, I still think the statement stands. She's the most reasonable of the leaders we've spoken to.
Yeah.
In that, like,
It's easy to be reasonable when you just ignore all the rules that you don't like.
no, I
It's
mean,
easy
I
to
agree.
sound reasonable.
Like, nobody
it's
here
not.
is being reasonable,
At
but
the very least, she's the most congenial.
I mean, beyond just stealing, like, supplies from other refugees and hiding out on top of the mountain, like, her plan is basically fuck everybody else. If they don't make it up here, they can burn. Right?
Yeah.
And we'll take
also
their
let's
shit
Let's
once
keep in
they
mind.
burn.
Let's keep in mind. We had to find maps to get this place is hidden.
Right.
Mhm.
How
Yeah,
refugees got here is a wonderful question for me, because if refugees who are coming with nothing Like, from a burned out town made it here? How did the Perch Guard not know about it?
Right.
That tells me that
Also-
there were probably bandits in those areas that burned, and these refugees basically just followed them.
Tangentially related.
That's not helping people. That's just
Or it could
they
be the
followed
Perch
because you
Guard.
had nothing left.
You could also be describing why the Perch Guard are just that terrible.
Right.
The Perch Guard are just fucking awful at their jobs.
Tangentially related. Oh my god, I love Fired Up Ted.
Yeah, Fired Up
God,
Ted's good.
right? We don't
It's
get
just
we
one
don't get
of
to see, we don't get to see that very
Yeah.
often. Thank you for blessing us with that.
Yeah.
Ted.
Love Fired Up Ted.
I like to see
Let-
piss
let
and
Fire-
vinegar, Ted.
Speaking
You
of fired
can
up, you guys
can
are
thank
so
work
lucky.
because it's driving me fucking insane still.
You guys are very lucky that I didn't like go absolutely ballistic
Oh, hello.
You
during
okay?
that because like
I got a tackle hug.
Nice.
because
Sorry, continue, June.
like Ted said, she's literally like taking the supplies out of the mouths of the refugees. So like I was right about to say, hey, fuckwit. You know why we're here? It's cause you're the reason we're here.
I'm about
You're the
to
one
make.
who made a fucking big old problem, a big old to-do about this whole thing. And you know what? We were about to get aid. But you know what we had to come and fucking do? We had to not only recover the supplies that we were gonna do, we had to freaking, you know, we had to go up here and be like, hey, stop fucking stealing from the people that you're trying to help, dumbass.
If it helps, Hattie is planning on making a bunch of copies of the map up here and just distributing them to like fucking refugees. Like, here, just go here. They got a big stone fort. They seem to be a bit sparse on supplies, but like, it's better than anything going on down here. Here's a pamphlet. It will tell you how to get to the secret bandit base. It's not a secret anymore.
Gosh, this letter's a fucking bitch and a half card.
Gary's gonna end up getting like a 10:45 email from me for this stupid production.
Awesome. That's all right. I sent Charmaine a 3:30 a.m. email last night.
Oh my god.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I found another Eldritch Capitalism.
Oh
Oh, boy.
no.
Check out this shit.
Oreo ID. Oh my. What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
like
hard
the
to look
phrase
at, right?
just the cream color.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't
Now,
like that
you
either.
see the strange geometries here. It's gonna take you a second to fully process everything. Go ahead and click start here on either one of those.
I'm scared to,
I'm
actually.
scared too. Alright.
How big is this fucking Oreo
No,
that you're
but I need
fitting
you
like
to-
a full-on picture on one of
It's
the
very
cookies,
important.
though?
That you understand that everything is out of stock on the color, like the colors one.
Yep.
It's all out of stock.
I can't get purple. This is done.
To be fair,
There's an image. There is an image and text option. There is an image and text
Yeah,
option.
so, like,
woo.
you figure there's like
Words.
smut Oreos now that exist.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
It's the internet.
No! Yeah,
Right,
no,
what's
Sarah,
that internet
why are you-
rule?
Why are you wooing? That's literally like.
I
If-
just didn't want to
it's the-
have that thought, Cody, and now I
It's-
do.
It's the internet. There is approximately 4,000 of these that were ordered by 4chan, like within 20 minutes of it opening.
Sorry.
I'm
excuse
100%
me,
Cody,
I was walking
I'm
around my
not- I'm
room
not
with my
mad.
headphones off, and I heard the
Uh-huh.
word smut and Oreos in the same
Smut
sentence.
Oreos.
All right, sick.
I
Sorry.
said what I
Go on,
said.
Sarah. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
I'm just genuinely
S'moreos.
like I didn't. Oh,
Oh, wow.
we're done. No more game. Bye, everybody.
Good night. See you later.
Hey, but blue, purple, and pink are out of stock. I
That
don't know what to
checks
think
out.
of that.
I'm
Bisexuals confirmed.
Bisexuals
fuck
cause
yeah.
scarcity. You heard it here first,
Yep.
folks.
You heard it here first.
it's their damn loving everybody,
They like everything, which is why they buy so much of it.
which is
Those
why they picked the
bastards.
best color scheme. I'm genuinely trying to find another method by which I could acquire purple Oreos.
What if I don't want a dip, Oreo? What if I just want cookies? Why are you making me get a dip? Like I can't
Well-
go to sprinkles or image without adding a dip. I don't want a dip. I'm gonna start over.
You gotta have one. The goddamn
God.
bisexuals getting rid of all the blue.
Yeah,
purple, and pink.
honestly,
We don't like your kind around here.
I
Don't
just
make
heard
me
Jess
run out
from
of
the other room go,
Oreos.
what? Did you hear go the goddamn bisexual?
Alright, I'll see
they're
y'all
breaking
around.
down the supply chain, Cody.
There's blueberry ice cream that are purple. They're from Indonesia.
No.
What?
I'm looking for another way I can acquire purple Oreos.
Huh, you're right, Ted. You can't not dip.
Yeah, it's
You gotta have
bizarre.
dip.
It's because of the image. If you don't.
Oh,
it
needs a
build,
solid
like-
surface.
Yeah, they're not just gonna engrave it on the outside of an Oreo, which I like better.
the JPEG's all like warped.
Yeah, the JPEG is just stretched over the Oreo.
I mean,
I'm gonna
I
try to
assumed
make
that
a
they were
gross
just
cookie.
like. I assumed
so
that
there's
they
like
were
the
just
Oreo's
like.
watermark on like smut.
Like how
Goatee right in the middle of the order.
Is-
It says Oreo.
Oh,
oh wow, Ted,
oh,
Ted, you're full of piss and vinegar.
wow.
Work's got you fucked all the way up.
I'm so angry that that's twice today I've thought of that.
Said goat
That
Oreo.
someone else presented that to me, and I had to think about it twice in
Just-
one day.
Just the amount of words that you get to say in your whole
You
life.
have to add sprinkles. Why? I don't. want
Yeah, I
sprinkles.
don't. Okay, so what I need to understand is how many cookies do you get when you like JPEG them? Do you get like a whole pack of like fucking Buck Wild Oreos that they just like stamp the JPEG onto? Like I'm not clear on how many Oreos you actually get.
Yeah,
I'd
it'd be
love if
really
it's
weird
like
if you just
$40
got
and
one.
it's one.
Yeah, you get one normal sized Oreo. That's the fucking sprinkles. Here's some premium sprinkles. Actually, the sprinkles confuses
Gruesome.
me because this seems like it would be
Oh my God.
counterproductive to the JPEG integrity.
No, it's gotta have a little fucking frame for it.
A border,
It's
so it
gotta be the
doesn't
cover.
look awful.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Oh yes, Sarah.
Look at the
It
image
doesn't look-
guidelines.
So it doesn't look awful.
We recommend using photographs where the person or
No.
subject is close up with minimal backgrounds to create the
Benny,
Lance-
what are you doing?
landscape images and subjects in the distance will not print with this high quality. File sizes.
Yes, only the highest fucking quality for Oreo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
like
go
how
into the gifts and gear tab on
Wait,
the Oreo
what?
website. Gifts and
Oh,
gear at
wow.
the top. Look up this Oreo merch.
Twist,
I hate it. I
lick,
hate
and
all of
dunk.
it.
Oh god.
That's
Twist, lick, and dunk.
that's on your socks. It's on your feet. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I hate a shirt with twist, lick, and dunk.
I hate it on socks 'cause feet.
That's a great
I
reason
mean,
to hate it.
That's
Honestly,
fair.
I'm right there with you.
This Oreo cookie dunk pocket tee is certainly a look, but it's not as strong a look as straight up just a shirt with a fucking Oreo in the center of it. Like a weirdly red. Holy shit! I'm surprised this hasn't activated Adam's Buck Wild gene.
No,
Just kick in and go for it.
it's like $40. Wait, no.
For a
No.
single cookie.
To order individual cookies, a minimum order of 20 is $2.50 a cookie.
Oh no!
Well, okay.
Or
I guess
if you order in like gift box sizes, the price per cookie goes down a little bit. Oh,
And
my God.
are you supposed to eat them? Like, I guess this would
What
be
kind of
cool
question
for.
is that, Cody? Yes, you're supposed to fucking eat them.
What am I looking at here, Sarah?
A
What
necklace.
what is? Am I supposed to? What am I supposed to understand with this?
Oh my sweet goodness. No, like you dunk it to put it. Oh, I don't like it.
Okay.
Sarah, get rid of it. Sarah, get rid of it.
Now this is some strange geometry. I can't process it no matter how much I look at it.
Literal Eldritch capitalism.
Like
Order some of these.
Drip. No,
Ted.
Sarah, the new term is dunk, actually.
I
yeah,
was
it's
trying to
not-
figure out a really good way to incorporate the two, but it wasn't. I couldn't get farther than just saying drip and then saying dunk, and that was
What?
nothing.
What douchey mood are you in today? Cookie in or cookie out?
I hate that it would be a tagline if you were at like a fucking like PR meeting. Like they would clap. They would fucking stand up and clap for you,
Yeah.
Cody.
Also, I do kind of like the cookie hat, the Oreo cookie cap.
The kind of beat up
Yeah,
app.
that's kind of fucking fresh, actually. Like, I don't like the Oreo on the back. I think if it just had the Oreo on the front, that'd be a sick hat.
Oh, I've been carving for too long. My hands hurt.
I just saw the Oreo, and I've done a 180 on this whole thing.
I was
What does
saying that
What does that mean, Adam? Is that a good 180 or a
Actually,
bad
yeah,
180?
No, I was totally against it to start with, and now,
Ah.
like, God bless whoever invented this thing.
We'll do this for when, you know, the inevitable we all do a game together IRL. We'll have these as our
Oh my God.
minifigs.
Nice.
Oh my God. Can you imagine getting like the monster's manual done on Oreos and like, well, you killed that orc, eat the Oreo.
Oh, that would.
Yes.
That's what you do when you're teaching kids how to do D&D.
Talk about
Okay.
turning me into a murder hobo.
Oh, you see that one's got fucking blue sprinkles? Shit. Kill it.
Yeah, that's the minifig for your dad. I don't care.
Yeah, like, they've got a wife and kids. Doesn't matter.
Are they as tasty?
Okay.
Where are they
Sarah,
actually?
you didn't tell me this thing is named Oreo Cookie Lariat Necklace.
Because that's nothing.
I
That's
know.
Just
but
that's just the
very
type
good.
of necklace it is.
I know, but those words together are so stupid.
I know.
I need everybody's address. I'm sending everybody.
We're gonna get Orcs cookies. You're gonna spend like $200 on Orcs cookies. Oh, I just saw the stock say twist, lick, and dunk. Fuck. That is not good. Is that really
That's
what Oreos
what I
are?
said. That's what I said. That's
Oh,
what I said.
Look at this. Look at this tote. Look at this
The
faux
tote that
leather
looks-
Oreo tote.
Yeah, that's
What
man.
a drip that is. Wow.
Oryx cookies.
Orcs cookies.
uh
Oh, you can get adhesive patches. These are really ambitious. Like, I don't know what Oreo
wait,
thinks.
I'm sorry. Oreo flavored lip balm? What?
What?
Oh, that's not good for your
That
mouth.
is a nightmare. That is a
So-
nightmare.
I would
You just lick it?
No, you
I mean,
put
it's
it on your
lip balm,
fucking
but-
lips, dummy.
Yeah, but the problem is it's flavored.
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you never had flavored like it's
I
usually like
almost have that
cherry
problem.
or honey
Like
flavor or
strawberry?
something.
Yeah.
Strawberry. Okay, I don't want to have a meet and greet with Lady Gaga. Stop popping that up, please.
How
What?
dare you?
Oh,
Hold
hey
on.
guys, crafty friends in the chat.
That would require meeting somebody, so no.
So
By the way.
theoretically, if I was to, I don't know, be a complete dork and inscribe something on something I'm making into a staff, how would I go ahead and make that carving like darker? Like, is there a way to like burn it into it? Because I got the carving.
I mean,
How
yes.
the
would
easy
I-
way would probably be paint, but there wood burning is a thing. Yes.
Okay, so
how do you burn wood?
okay, so there are tools that are actually designed to do this. That are just essentially stiff and hot pieces of wire that are bent. You can get them at a craft store. I can't remember what they're called, but you can just use them to scratch the wood surface and it'll burn it for you. Another option would be like a very fine, probably like a very watery paint, like an acrylic, and just very lightly fill each of your carved letterings with just any color you'd want, and kind of like hand what's the word, budget stain the wood.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Do you think I could like just get away with like getting something very hot and burning the wood?
That's
thing?
essentially what a wood burning tool is. It's
like-
just like
The end of like a wire, like hanger, will do okay.
Well, I mean, I also have like, I don't know. I don't want to ruin the files because never mind. But like, I was
Like
gonna say,
those-
I have like some like bead reamers and stuff that I've been using to like help file down the like lettering and carving and stuff. So
I
like,
mean, whatever you're using is gonna be toast.
will it?
Uh,
About how hot do you have to get those suckers, Sarah? Like, what do you use to heat them up, or is it like an electric thing where it's
It's a little electric tool.
Okay. That's...
probably get the electric tool.
Do you have a soldering gun? Because like
I
the hot
don't.
soldering gun is
Right.
somewhat similar to a wood burning tool. In
Yeah.
fact, you can use this. You can use it to do soldering.
Yeah, looking at
They
them
make
right now,
soldering tips.
it looks like the wood burning tool is a soldering iron that has a bunch of different tips to get different tiles.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Just take something metal and pointy and shove it in a fire for a while and then poke stuff.
You know, Cody, that's probably gonna be my first attempt if we're gonna be honest.
I did that many times as a kid and also burned myself as a
Yeah,
kid.
see, that's
Unrelated.
the other part of that one.
I have a scar on
No.
my foot because
You.
that's a
yeah.
deity cookie.
Turn that work laptop off, Ted.
I was at 99% done extracting and it crashed. I lost my VPN connection. I'm so fucking mad right now. We're supposed to be exempted from that.
Yeah.
Holy sh! All right, I'm done. They'll
Good.
I will email Liz tomorrow because I am way too pissed to do it right now. I was so close to done. That's I can't tell you how many times I've run into that issue. Okay, we're good. It's
That's fucking devastating.
fine.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. It's good.
You're fine. Hold on. Let me get the gift. You need this gift.
The seal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
You need the seal.
Well, Cody's working with that. Thank you, Cody.
You gotta find.
Well, Cody's working on that.
We're good. I'm looking at Oryx Oreos. It's fine.
Okay. We're back. And you guys have a day to wander around the bandit camp if you would so choose. There is the barracks. There's a store. There's the storeroom, which doesn't immediately sound particularly interesting. There is a prison of sorts, as was explained to you, and the courtyard. What would you like to do to occupy your time for the day?
Roderick will spend some time. Senna said that there was basically a mess hall, a kitchen. So in true Roderick fashion, he's going to go cook for people. That way he can kind of strike up conversation with either the other chefs or the people who are coming to be served.
Okay. Is there something you want to specify?
He's largely trying to get sort of a feel among not just the other refugees, but the bandits on sort of how the conflict between the coalition and the council and Elderheart basically is not how it's going, but like how people see it. Is it something they see as necessary? Is this something that's just kind of like, well, we have to deal with it? Like he's trying to understand, not necessarily in terms of the bandits, but in terms of the refugees, how necessary they feel this really is. Like how badly they are in fact viewing the council.
Okay. Because everyone here is in the way they are, most of these sorts of checks, unless you're trying to like really dig something up, are not going to require actually doing checks. And what you can learn is that most of these refugees, like they have said, they'll say readily, they have traveled usually from the west or from the north, and they have gone to Alderheart and have found no resources. Most of them have spent many days, perhaps weeks even, in the lower districts, and have seen no support except from the bandits that were there. And those who have traveled to those who are here have done so because they have determined that the help that they have been provided in the city was worth paying back in a fashion. Conflict with the Birdfolk Council, many of them have resentment towards them. Many of them are not happy with Alderheart, how they were treated at Alderheart, and are ready to express that frustration. But most importantly, many of them have more specifically sympathy towards Brenna and her fight. Though not entirely understanding it. Many of them know exactly why she has taken such a hard stance and why it is so personal to her. It's not easy to hide the fact that she is scarred, but some even let on that there's something more to it than that. And again, the people here are sympathetic towards her and to the other people who have found themselves here, and are endeared to the idea of the community and safety that is here, that is supposed to be promised in Elderheart. Gladys, what are you doing?
I am going to spend a couple hours trying to see if I can't locate or get a lead on where this fractal of Ember is.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think what that is probably going to look like is trying as casually and friendly as possible, trying to figure out where they're keeping supplies that have been brought in, particularly, right, anything brought in recently, and offering to do a little guard work around there, see if anyone has any word about anything particularly special that's been brought in, that sort of stuff.
Right. Can I get, since this is a very more Snoopy, could I get an investigation check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There is in the barracks, which are open to anyone who happens to come through, and frankly, like the same sort of odd, not necessarily scrutiny, but like what is the word? The attention that you drew in Alderheart, and to a significantly lesser degree, but certainly a noticeable degree in Meadowfen, as a Corvum, that is. There's a couple of second glances in your direction, although you see more Corvum here, and also there's more of a direct approach to engaging with you with some of the bird folk who happen to be here, and humble folk alike. But there's a definite difference in the attitude towards you and your appearance than there would be elsewhere. And in the barracks, there is a part of the rooms that have been sectioned off and have been allocated as the captain's quarters. And there is actually a hedge guard who is sitting there quite deliberately and doesn't allow passage. But that alone to you would indicate that either there's likely valuables there, or the natural it's weird enough. A locked door is fine, but there is somebody stationed there.
Right. And separating, like this locked door, it's a solid door and a solid wall, or is it just like a gated off area?
It's a door and a wall.
Okay. I'll approach the guard. Let's say, how long have you been on shift?
Let me think of the time of day. Gotta think of how long that would have been. He anticipates he'll be here for another couple of hours.
Oh, I'm sorry. How long have you been on shift?
Oh, about 2 hours.
Do you need to take a break for any reason? I could sit here, keep watch if you need to use the restroom, stretch your legs.
Why don't you roll me a persuasion check?
I will use an inspiration on that, because at the very least, I don't want to look overly suspicious. That's about as good as I'm going to do.
Let me check their wisdom score. Everything is in alphabetical order, which you'd think would make it easier, but it's not. Oh, come Yeah. There's kind of a narrowed eye at you. And they shake their head. They say they'll be okay to stay until the next watch.
Oh, okay, no problem. And I will head out of the barracks and loop around and see if there are any windows or anything that look in on that particular area.
Let me see if there are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my assumption would be no. It would be sort of
Yes.
to have a guard seated at a door when there's just a window on the
Yeah.
outside. It's worth
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, it's a good question because there might have been something useful in the building description, but no, not really. No windows described, and yeah.
All right. Well, what is are these like boxes piled up outside of the barracks?
Yeah.
I am going to walk towards the exit. Cast Mage Hand and just try and make a commotion within the pile of boxes, whether that's pushing small boxes over or picking up a stick or a rock and banging it against stuff. Just any sort of commotion that I can, so that as I approach the exit, I can turn back to the guard and say, "Hey, is this normal?"
I would love a performance check, I think. I'll give you advantage. All right.
All right.
It's not bad.
That is enough to at least get them a little confused, and they get up to go and investigate. I'll also remind you the barracks aren't necessarily empty, but you know that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes. But
Okay.
yeah, that guy wanders off.
While he's wandering off to investigate, I will have the mage hand swoop past me and pick up my thieves' tools. And I'm going to try and have it unlock that door.
Okay, let me get a thieves' tools check. Key for that?
I think so, only because I don't have any fucking idea what I'm doing next. So I don't know how unlocking this door really helps me out, particularly considering there's other people in the barracks. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it.
Okay. A 10 will not unlock a lock.
Right.
Yep.
I will rush out to assist this guy in examining the boxes and be very thorough. And once we're comfortable that there's no
The ghost
funny
is
business,
gone.
right? There's no funny business going on out here. Oh, it's probably just a rat or something. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll go find whomever from the party, and ask them if we are interested in recovering the fractal of Ember and let them know what I've found out about Brenna's quarters, which is virtually nothing other than where they are, which is information that could have easily been ascertained by asking, well, anyone. But it occupies Gladys's time.
Okay. Wisteria, do you have anything of interest you'd like to be doing?
Yeah, actually, she is going to shoot for the top and try and find Brenna.
Okay. You can go back to speak to her again. Or you can have, like, lingered there, if you'd like.
I'll come back. I'll probably, like, check in to see what everyone's doing, make sure, like, that it doesn't have anything to do with me, and then probably run back in.
Alright. Yeah, you can find her in that same... She did not go anywhere.
Hey. Do you have a moment? Sorry, I bet you're busy, but...
What do you need?
Well... I... want to first apologize for sort of being hot-headed, back there. It seems like you're doing the best you can for everyone, but I have been sort of hell-bent on working on a more permanent solution for this whole calamity going on, and that's all that I really care about. I want to make sure that there doesn't need to be like a need for people to find a new home and to lose everything and to be wandering. I want people to just feel safe again. So I want to do anything in my power to make that happen.
She nods, and she says, I understand that impulse. My mother thought the same. And had the Birdfolk Council listened to her, and she had her visions, and she told them what she had been shown, and perhaps there would be fewer dead. The grove could have been stilled. But instead, we have many folks here, myself included, who have been displaced, orphaned, widowed. It is a good instinct to want to heal. The gods have told us it is time to endure.
I'm not talking about healing. I'm talking about actively putting a stop to this. It seems like what you're doing is more like healing. Healing the hearts of the people who have lost everything and the communities who've done the same. I want to end it. I don't need the gods or the council. I just have what's up here. She taps her head, and my powers, as limited as they might be right now. Did your mother, was she like a researcher, a tender?
A seer.
Wisteria nods and asks,
Did she ever write anything down, or are there just accounts that you remember offhand?
Some memories, mostly. Anything that was written down, burned.
Yeah. You know what that's like. I feel like brute force and supplies and all the power in the world can't do a thing if we don't know what exactly we're dealing with. So I want to gather and make known as much as possible. And if it's too painful for you to recall now, I understand. I would request maybe something in the future, like a note or something, but I would love to hear both your mother and your personal findings, as well as if you could divulge any sort of, like, I don't know. I bet there are plenty of displaced academics like myself that end up here. If anyone has any idea or artifacts or remnants from the Grove to study, I'd love to get my hands on them and do some work. I know you're tied up here a little bit, but I want to just let you know that I'm here to help, and I'll do whatever I can to work on the Grove. Because, I don't know, I feel like it's unfair to ask you personally to stretch yourself even thinner than what you have already done for everyone, trying to keep them safe. So, if I could just bear that burden for you.
She nods and says, "That's very considerate. My mother spoke of a creature that wanted to devour. That its hunger had to be sated, or else it would just continue to consume. I don't even know that she knew exactly what it was or ever saw it. And my own memories are when the fires took everything of mine, except for part of my body. Then I was younger. Feels like I was much younger, but it wasn't. I don't remember most of what happened. I just remember the feelings of what felt like dying and breathing smoke and suffocating. I didn't see. I hardly saw fire. I just knew I was being consumed. There there are certainly others who have lost more, seen more. And I wish I had the memories of my mother to help you. But I don't. I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. I mean, thank you for sharing. Are there any of your number or like anything that has been recovered from the grove or these places that have burned so far that has been of interest, I guess?
I know that, well, one moment. And she stands up and goes into her quarters and returns with a glowing fractured stone. Bright orange in its color. Some tenders left this. I don't know what it is.
This looks like the fractal of Ember, correct?
Perhaps.
Well, that might be, and don't quote me, my grandmother was a tender, but that's, and I talked to some down in, where we came from. A fractal of Ember, they called it.
Huh.
Apparently, it
was somebody from the Avium like created that. That's like a man-made thing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently somebody from the Avium
It was a
Oh, the tenders. Yeah.
okay. Apparently one of the tenders actually created it. But it has the same properties of the grove, like ever burning, all of that. Oh boy. If I could find the person who made that, I feel like we'd get a lot of answers of what sort of powers at play. Or I could maybe try and do it on my own. I have some notes in my bag. I've been studying for a little bit. Kind of put on pause because of the whole Ashborough thing. But would you mind? I mean, that seems like a lot. Wow. Do you want something for it? I have gold if you're willing to trade it.
her ears just like going wild every once in a while, just like flicks, and she just like is looking down sheepishly.
Could you make me a persuasion check?
Oh, bones. Bones roll good. Roll them good bones for me, baby. No! No bones are good bones. I should have something. I don't have anything for this. God damn it.
I have an inspiration. I will give you my inspiration.
Damn. Why can't I? Damn it. Yeah?
Yeah, take it. You can't roll worse. So, worst you can do is the same.
All right, Ted. I'm
You
doing
got
it proud.
this. I believe in you.
Oh! Damn it! Oh no!
This is 15. It's not bad. It's not bad.
One.
She turns the rock over in her hands, and as it moves, the light within it flickers and rolls as if it is moving, and you feel warm next to it. You feel that it is giving off heat. And Brenna says, "I don't know what this is. I know that it might be dangerous if it is in any way a fraction of the grove. It is dangerous." Her fingers around it loosen a little as she extends her hand with it towards you.
I put both of my hands on it and gently lift it from her hand and say, "Oh, wow, thanks. I promise you, I have done my fair share of controlling, I guess, the power of the grove." She sort of looks down. Says, if I find anything, I'll let you know. I trust we'll be back here eventually, or we'll see you in Alderheart when you're down there.
She nods.
All right, I'm gonna stow that baby in my pack very, 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 very carefully.
It is warm to the touch, not hot. It is pleasant. You want to keep holding it.
Yeah, maybe I'll just like sort of like keep it in my pouch and like with my hand. Also, I'll just say, and if you have any leads on anything and you're not, able to investigate them, I urge you to let me know if you can, because I really want to help. And also, thank you for the hospitality.
What was your name? I don't think you gave it to me, and I never forget a name.
Wisteria Ashburn.
Wisteria. She shakes your hand.
I'll shake it back and say,
"Well, I'll be in the barracks if you need me. Or actually, kitchen. I should probably help Roderick with the cooking."
And she sort of scampers off.
What's Hattie doing?
Very generally, probably finding if there are any, like, bigger gatherings specifically of Mapaks to ask about the, like, kind of tangentially ask about his family, but not directly. Basically, just ask about how most of the gazes are moving. Like, are they all headed this way? Stuff like that.
Those who are a little bit more in the know that a majority of the gazes are choosing to stay within the wood, but are and have been noticeably moving eastward.
Mm-hmm.
There has been some substantial withdrawal from trade in Elderheart of late, and some are even making more towards the avium. Whoa. There are, in fact, a good perhaps 3 patriarchs here and definitively, they would describe themselves as being this stronghold being the home of their gaze.
Yeah, I think Hattie conspicuously leaves Shadow Ruffle out of it. If only because, like, it would be very easy for him to make a bad impression that fuck shit up for his sister. So it's better.
Sorry, I said patriarchs. I meant matriarchs. You knew what
Yeah.
I meant.
Yeah, like, it would, it'd be a problem if he fucked shit up for his sister by acting like an awkward weirdo around some of the matriarchs. So Hattie probably just steers clear to ask generally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the general attitude is simply that, like, their role is to protect their families, and this has proven to be the most effective way to do so, at least for them. Granted, bandits do get killed, bandits are arrested, bandits are put in jail. It is not factually incredibly safe. And there is a stubborn denial of danger being less so than being in the wood. The fear of what the future is, as what Brenna has said, what Brenna has promised.
Mm-hmm.
That fear means more to them than the risks they currently take.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, those are probably conspicuously where Hattie gets quiet. Because Hattie's got some opinions and knows when to shut the fuck up. But yeah, okay. I think Hattie is doing a lot of just moving from place to place looking busy and not really knowing what to do or like where to actually do work.
Mm-hmm. It is very easy. It is very easy, particularly for many of the captains who are here, which, as you are here, you tend to notice, like, that they are the ones that, even if they're not in the best fitted armor or like the best kept clothing, they are the ones that have that same like respect, like design, like automatic respect that Brenna seems to have from everybody. And not only are they willing to instruct, but they are very prepared to delegate. It is very easy to find yourself actually busy, even if you don't know what you're doing, just doing some light manual labor.
Yeah.
Not to mention, many Mapaks are enthused to see new faces around.
Yeah. Hattie says, "Oh, okay. Yeah." Mm-hmm.
And notably, I don't know if I actually said this, but I had the thought occurred to me to say, many of the captains are in fact Vulpin and Corvum.
Interesting. Okay. So there's like conspicuously it is made up of those two types of people.
Yeah, and again, like that wouldn't be like, what's the word? Exclusive.
Yeah, it just that is what happens to be, at least here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Then.
Oh my God, Hattie! Thank God I found you. Look,
yeah, you see Hattie standing like blank face, staring down at a box in his hands.
No, Hattie, come over here. Look, we need to find the others. I'm like 99% sure I've found the location of the Fractal of Ember.
I have to take this somewhere. I don't remember what it is. Or
Wait, what is it? That's just a box?
there's something in it, I think.
Yeah, I know where boxes go.
I was supposed
I'll
to take
I'll take
it.
him to the pile of boxes.
No, I was given instructions, but I wasn't
Okay.
listening.
Well,
You see, he's just staring blankly at the box.
that's challenging. Hey, you there? You have any idea where this box is supposed to go?
A Gerbine hops over to you, leans over the side of the box, and says, "Well, that looks like it should go to the infirmary."
Wonderful. Let's drop this off at the infirmary then, shall we?
Thank you for helping.
Give
Sure,
you
no
an
problem.
enthusiastic nod, bounce away.
Where's
The
the infirmary? Hattie immediately says to Gladys.
No, I'm sure it's around here somewhere, and we wander around until we find the infirmary.
You find a hedge witch who seems to be tending to people who have taken either what would appear to be combat-based wounds, some incidences of some training and fighting practice that maybe has gone a little bit awry, some people who have been injured on the road, traveling or climbing in the mountains, a couple people who have been essentially quarantined in the far end of the room that all carry some of the more familiar symptoms that you've been able to see so far of the carrion fever. Not many, but a few. The hedge happily takes his package. Thanks you all.
I'm sorry it's late.
Well, it's more important that it gets here.
I got distracted. That's my fault.
It wasn't urgent. It's just important.
Mm-hmm.
Are you new?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. What sort of skills do you have?
I'm good at reading the stars and foraging, but not up here. It's too cold. I can do a little bit of contraptioning, but I don't. I need more sticky jam.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you're... I have a couple of cots that seem to have broken under some heavier weight. But I...
Yeah, I can. What do you have for materials?
They go into... They seem to ponder, then go to a rubbish bin and pile, and produce some odds and ends for you.
Yeah, Hattie looks at Gladys and is like, oh, we were gonna. Did you need me for something?
Let's fix the cot, and then we'll find the others.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you. Yes. Hattie will like point to Gladys and say, even better at things that are made of wood.
Well, we don't know what the problem is yet. Let's take a look, and if it's a lumber-related issue, I'll tackle it, and if it's springs or infrastructure, you can take a look at it. How's that sound?
That is a good idea. So yeah, I guess we look over a couple of these broken cots.
All right.
When they're done, they have bunk beds.
They have bunk beds like where like the wood is pristine and all of the like joints and springs are like held together by twine and sticks. There's just like an extended like set of like interlocking like strips of cloth just tied into knots inexplicably. It might be holding the whole thing up. Impossible to tell, but you're not gonna untangle the knots to see.
Oh.
Yes, I'm imagining it looking exactly like that. Like the two of them get fucking distracted and go from like, yeah, let's fix a cot to like a 3-layered like bunk cot. Not what they asked for.
Nope. But you know they'll take the support. They're not gonna be angry about it.
Imagine
Just
all the room
confused.
for activity.
All right. And the evening rolls around, and a lot of you can meet back up. The barracks. I didn't really describe them, I don't think, particularly well on the inside, but they're you know there's not a lot of privacy, and there's a bunch of bunk beds. But because of the rotation of the watch and everything, even though there's very clearly like mostly shared bedding, there's always room for people to sleep here if needs be. But you're all together.
Say, listen, not for nothing, but I think that fractal of ember is behind that locked door.
Wisteria sort of starts chuckling and just can't hold on to her laughter.
Gladys, where are you sourcing that intel?
Well, it's really the best I could come up with. It seems like the most heavily guarded location. It seems like that's where you'd keep something of value, like the fractal of ember.
And where exactly would that be?
She sort of like leans back, amused, waiting to see where this goes.
I'd point to the back of the barracks.
What, you think those meathead guards know what to do with that thing? Come on. It'd be probably under the care. It'd probably be under the care of smart and cunning and attractive sorceress, powerful and right?
Well, I don't think they'd know what to do with it, but I think they'd know how to guard it.
She winks again, very obviously.
Is there something in your eye?
Sure ain't the fractal of ember, 'cause it's in my pouch.
Gladys touches a finger to the tip of her beak.
You buried the lead. Okay. I understand the joke now.
How did you get a hold of it?
Brenna
What do you
gave
mean
it
you
to
don't
me.
know?
Brenna gave it to me. Brenna and I had a talk, and she decided to give it to me.
Why?
Because I am, like, I don't know, I, like, research these sorts of things, and, I don't know, I feel like I could, she's a little bit caught up with everything here, you know, trying to keep people safe and fed and all that good stuff, so I decided to take on the role of arcane research, because, yeah, I don't know. I have some experience, and hopefully I'll be getting more. And plus, I can probably get down to the avian more often than she can. And I can probably do a lot more field work than she can too.
Do you want me to look at it with magic eyes?
You know, that's a good idea, but I'm sure, like taking it out here would be a bad idea. Just you know, because
Are you
I
sure
don't
you
want.
didn't steal it?
She just kind of like sours her face at Hattie.
Yes, I'm sure I didn't steal it.
If you stole it, that would be fine. You should just tell us so that we know.
I'm charming, okay? Jeez.
Okay.
She nods and goes
What
back to
was
relaxing.
Brenna doing with it? That's my question. It was made by those grove tenders. How did it end up here? I mean, let me rephrase that. We know the bandits stole it, so what was she doing with it? Why?
Wisteria sort of like shrugs and puts her hands behind her head and says, I don't know. She didn't seem to really know what to do with it either. She said the tenders just sort of like left it here. Or like, you know. I don't know. I feel like what she meant by that was they got robbed and they left their shit because they were running away.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Real concern for what's going on in the Scorching Grove when your people are robbing the tenders. That's fantastic.
Hey,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
Right. See, I have a sort of vested interest in doing this thing myself because I don't necessarily agree with how anyone is handling this situation. You guys are what closest I've seen to people who are doing something proactive and smart about this whole shit. So I'll be sticking around with you guys, and if you'll help me. But yeah, I'm just glad that I got it, and I'm glad that I am going to be able to research it and see what it does. Maybe unlock something I didn't know before.
Good job. Should we leave tomorrow then?
I think so. I don't think there's a whole lot we can do here. I don't.
Yeah, we got a message to deliver.
I do not want to carry any more boxes.
You what?
Yes. The captains are very forceful, and they give orders. And it takes me a moment to think of what to say, but by then they've left. So I just do what they said. Then move the boxes. Hattie just shrugs and like pulls his cloak down over his eyes. Like pulls out the star chart to start looking at it.
Is that it for the night?
I think that's it.
I think so.
Great. And the next morning, if you so choose, time for you guys to head back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Head back towards the camp where you left Triss, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And, trying to decide. Oh. Okay. Since you guys are away then, do you want to do anything with the ember once you have the opportunity?
Yeah, I think having Hattie cast Identify on it,
Not identify,
or sorry,
unfortunately.
Detect Magic.
Just detect
Yes,
magic.
Detect Magic's cool because I get to see what school of magic it's from. I'm gonna I'm gonna take an educated guess. It's gonna be Evocation, but who knows?
So yeah, I'll ritual cast detect magic.
Evocation.
What else can I get from it?
Well, that would be all.
How strong, I guess. I guess let's say using the river as a frame of reference, right? Because that was also evocation, but it was kind of laced all throughout it.
Like a heartbeat, it has pulses of what looks like intense, heavy aura, and then it fades. It is rather rapid.
Secondary question: what do I look like to Hattie?
Not quite. No, actually, nowhere near exactly that level of intensity.
But the fire is clearly in there, like the evocation. Compared to looking at myself or looking at the others who are not like latently that magical. A sorcerer would just show up as
slightly more than you, specifically. Like your magic is in a fashion it is learned, but it is not as much learned as Roderick's, and is more learned than Wisteria's. Does that make sense?
Yep.
There's like a scale between the three of you.
Yeah. Okay, I'll relate that. Yeah, I'll relate both the what it is doing, and also while relating it, looking at you, be like, oh, you are also a little bit like it, but not as much.
Yeah, sort of gathered that. That was sort of my hypothesis. Thanks,
it's a good hypothesis. But the stone is very it's big, and then it's not, and then it's big again. Rhythmic, kind of. I don't know if that helps.
A little bit. Some sort of pulse might mean that it's connected to whatever is in the grove, or is I guess some sort of a simile of what it could be. I'll have to do some of my own sort of digging on it and maybe get someone to ask about it. That helps immensely. Thanks, Hattie.
Yeah, Hattie will gently fold it up in a cloth and very gingerly hand it over.
Yeah, if we next long rest that we take, I do want to try to attune to it if I can.
Interesting.
Try to sort of meditate on that.
Okay. I will also say, in your own hands, Hattie, you also are loath to return it. You want to have it in your hands. It is warm and pleasant.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Hattie still gives it back, but you see he pulls the hood down very far over his face after he does. He's kind of rubbing his hands together.
God damn it, Sarah! If this is the first curse item that's in any of your games that I find, I'm gonna be pretty pissed.
Very good.
And by pissed, I mean it's gonna be fantastic.
It's very good. Well, you're burning through characters.
Oh
What's
yeah,
next
no,
one?
right. See, I am the fodder for you guys. Unfortunately, Wisteria is one that I really like, though.
Does Wisteria have a twin named?
Hysteria, probably.
No, like
Suspiria.
Visteria.
I hope
Zisteria.
not. I hope not for her sake.
All right.
Has a sibling named Diphtheria?
Oh no!
Diphtheria. That's what, as I was going through, I was looking at my keyboard and like running through the permutations. Like a lot of these sound like diseases or like STDs.
Yeah,
Like
not a lot of good ones actually.
no.
Okay. You can begin your backwards travel to Elderheart. You can stop in Branchbourne, if you'd like. Otherwise, we'll just take you back to Elderheart.
I mean, it'd probably be better if we don't stop there purely on the metrics of catching carry-on fever. That place is a hellhole. We can't help them. World's gonna burn. They can deal with their zombie plague. That's the next campaign. That's not us.
It's Miami Beach and they're having spring break.
Oh shit! Yeah, there's another set of adventurers that are out there somewhere whose whole shit is this, and it's not us.
Okay.
I mean, we told Brenna that there's an outbreak in town. They apparently have a medicinal cure, so she really wants to help.
Yeah. So my next long rest is
So
going
not
to be
happening.
spent
Got it.
sort of meditating on this, and if I can't attune to it, I do want to like sort of see if it has any resemblance to anything I'm familiar with, anything that I've been like told about, anything I can remember.
I don't think anything of that nature reveals itself, and you do not attune to it. However, with kind of handling it and trying to understand it, you do learn a couple of its properties, which includes the fact that you can use it to cast the light cantrip on it, basically. So it will light on its own. Being close to it, it does provide warmth, and it's let's see.
It's your precious.
It is with the time that you all spend near enough to it, each of you has an opportunity to feel somewhat drawn to it in a very pleasant way. It is offering warmth, particularly whenever it is lit. Any creature within 20 feet of the illuminated amber also feels the ember's heat and gains resistance to cold damage for as long as the ember is glowing. You also learn that you can cause it to float next to you near, like not unlike a drift globe, and it can shed light while doing so, and it'll follow you up to 5 feet off the ground.
Say, should we return this to its rightful owners?
Probably should. It was. I think there's the tenders in Branchbourne. I think one of them knows who made it. Knows the person. Knows this Stormbeat person.
Unless they lose it again.
Yeah. See,
They
the way I
could.
see it is, they sort of like set it up to be like something to find, not something to return. For some reason, they didn't seem too broken up about it, but
They would
They-
tend
they-
as being robbed by bandits. What?
They
I
never
mean, if
they
we
never
can't
made the
find the
report.
owners, then well, it doesn't.
I'm more
Right,
interested
I mean,
in
there's
getting. I'm more interested in getting to the person who made it. They didn't exactly ask for like a return either. They just said, "Hey, there are 2 things that we lost. Find them."
I'm confused here. It was one of the tenders that made it, and that particular tender may not even be alive anymore. If the other tenders aren't the rightful owners, then what am I missing here? I mean,
Well, it's
if they have no use for it, and you think studying it'll be useful, then by all means. I'm just saying, if you wanted to return it, that's probably our best place to start.
I just want to maybe get this to the avian. Maybe we could take a look at it.
That's fair. It's certainly fair.
all right then. We're headed to the avium then.
If you don't
I
mind.
suppose, although we can't take too long, we do have to deliver Brenna's message to the council.
Well, I thought
Oh,
Riffin
hey.
was going to deliver that message.
Oh, I mean, I figured we would travel with Riffin, but I just suggested having him deliver the message so that we wouldn't be leaving him in that camp.
I see.
Well, don't didn't the protocol that we traveled with, didn't they have to like rendezvous somewhere?
Above table, didn't we just leave him in Branchborn? I genuinely don't remember.
They left you guys at the foot of the crest.
And where were they going?
They were headed to Meadowfen with your escort of to escort your relief. Yes, yeah.
Well, I suppose if Riffin is comfortable and thinks that it would be safe, we could send him back to deliver the message while we go on to the avium, and then presumably head back and be back certainly in time for Brenna to show up.
Right. I would like him to have a safe return though, so I'll probably give him some gold for some caravan guards or something. If that's all right.
It's your money, but caravan from where?
Branchborn? We're here, aren't we? Oh wait, no, we skipped it.
No, you can be around Branchborn at this time.
Yeah. It's Branchborn.
Fair enough. I mean, while we're in Branchborn, we could check in with the tenders, see what they can tell you about that thing if you want.
If they had anything to say about it, they would have told us. just said it was really delicate and is dangerous if it got broken. So
I think they might have a little bit more to say now that they know that we have it.
That's sort of what I was thinking as well. Doesn't hurt. Worst that they say is, nope, got nothing more for you.
all right.
Okay. We're on a weird map currently, I've realized. Here we go. That would have been helpful. But you guys can certainly enter the city again, find the great hearth and the tenders that you spoke to. There is some relief to know that it has been found and that it is in safe hands, and it is explained to you that this object it exemplifies everything that fire is. It is at once a tool and is also capable of doing great harm. It is surprisingly weak. It can be destroyed, and if it does, the spark that is inside of it is explosive.
Oh, that is a curious thing to make.
I don't think it was the intention that it behave that way. It is just fire in its earnestness.
Well, seeing as it was yours originally, do you want it returned to you?
We could take it from you, if you wished.
Well, I think we were going to take it to the avium and see if they could inform us about any additional properties that it might have.
That is wise. That is not something I am capable of doing.
Well, with your permission, we'd like to do that.
He nods.
Wonderful, then it's settled. Let's thank you for your time. I don't have anything more for
do
you.
need more gold from
Anyone
the
else?
city, or do you have enough?
We should have enough. Thank you.
Okay, are you sure?
I believe so.
No money last time.
Yes.
Hattie will just nod.
Well, shall we arrange for support for Riffin on his journey back to Alderheart?
So
Yeah.
we're at the base of the crest, right? Like we're somewhere basically down here.
It's close to right here. Like you are within the wood by the time you reach the city.
Okay. I assumed we were over on the other side because of the river. Got it.
There's another river.
There's Lil River.
Yeah.
One that goes burble burble instead of splish splash.
Thank you, Cody.
So yeah, I guess is Riffin chill with this?
Yes.
With just fucking off back to Alderheart?
It would be pretty funny if Riffin was like, "Oh God, don't leave me."
Holy shit, no. Okay, is there anybody here to hire? Like, if we go to one of the inns, like... Could we
Yes.
hire Rick and a posse?
You probably could, although you guys have seen him a little bit in combat, and he certainly outclasses you all.
Yeah, he's probably fine. He's a little fella, but he's powerful.
Yeah,
He's dense.
yeah.
All right, Riffin, weird flex, but go off on your own then. Fuck.
I mean, you guys are welcome to hire him somebody. I'm just letting you know you're not just sending off some dweeb
Yeah,
to get
he
murked
got
on the
that.
road.
I like the idea of this little, like, puffy barn owl with big dick energy. Very love that.
Cody, could you not say those words in the same sentence, please? And thank you. I would love to never hear that ever again. That'd be great.
1,000 typewriters.
A monkey with 1,000 typewriters gets that, I guess.
Dude, I don't know what 1,000 monkeys you've got and what 1,000 typewriters they're typing on, but they are routinely coming up with some buck wild shit. Like, check what you're feeding those guys.
It's just straight mescaline.
Nice. That'll do it.
A bunch of mescaline and fucking lots of cigarettes.
Yeah,
Those
that'll do
monkeys
it.
are fucked all the way up. I know, I got a bad brain. It's fine. So yeah, you go back to Alderheart. Goodbye, small friend. And we advance the plot.
Yeah.
And you guys go to the Avium? Why do I keep saying that today?
I don't know.
The Avium. All right.
Last time I said atrium.
Avium sounds like a medical term. The Avium.
All right. That feels like a pretty good place to call it for tonight.
That's a logical spot.
Next time, we'll have combat, maybe. I have no idea. We'll see.
Look.
Gladys and Hattie fight over a berry.
Yeah, we fight over one of my crickets.
Adam, would you like me to restart recording, or are we good?
No, it's fine. I'll pull it out.
All right.